Hey guys, Chad Kincaid here with your Survivors episodes 1 and 2 of San Juan del Sur, Blood versus Water. Lots been going on with my life. It's been kind of a crazy few weeks for me, so I finally got some breathing room, and I'm going to do your reviews for you. First things first, it's all newbies. It's Blood versus Water, Exile Island, which at this point, to me, doesn't really serve a purpose, but maybe down the road it'll get a little bit more exciting. Maybe the twist will eventually add to it. Another thing is, I hear a lot of people complaining that, oh, the season's going boring, it's not exciting. Well, here's my theory, okay? Hold on with me on this one. The other Blood versus Water season that just occurred a little over a year ago, still fresh on everybody's minds, and it was a great season, and people had a lot of high expectations going into this season, and people are just already bashing the season because it's not living up to the expectations. Okay, I can get that, but keep in mind we're 2 episodes in, and it'll probably get more exciting as it'll progress. So just give it some time. Okay, that's just my opinion. Okay. On to the reviews itself. We go into episode 1. I do have notes. Like I said, it's all newbies. They briefly show the contestants, a little bit of their backstories, yada yada yada. Rest in peace intro. There's no intro coming back. I kind of gave up on that. Okay, they divide the tribes, obviously. The loved ones versus the loved ones. Oh, God forgive me for pronouncing the tribe names wrong. Humanaptru and Koyota. Hopefully I pronounced those right. Anyways, Keith, Wes's father already pointed out John Rocker. Well done there, Keith. I'm not a big John Rocker fan at all because of his past, and it's no secret, and people are telling me, oh, maybe he'll change. It's Survivor, it's a second chance. I get that, I really do, but just due to his past, man, as a fan, I'm upset they cast him because, first of all, was a major sports figure, and being one of those major sports people, they really don't need the money. Okay, I know, I get it's shot casting, but still, looking as a true fan of the show, it's kind of like, why would they cast somebody like that? Especially with his past and how he was, and stuff like that. It makes me shake my head, but as a fan, I have no say in the matter, but that's just my opinion. Okay, with that, they automatically go into a reward challenge, and they split loved one versus loved one, and whoever wins the duel wins whatever's for their tribe. So it's Jeremy versus Val, and I believe the reward is Flint and Beans. Jeremy wins out, sends his wife to Exile Island, a very emotional moment there. Jeremy's all upset, crying, whatever. Jeremy wins, emotional moment. Val goes, but also Jeremy gets to pick somebody to go with her from his tribe. So he picks Keith, the reasoning that he's thinking Keith's an outdoorsman. He'll help take care of his wife. He knows how to start a fire, even though, day 0, him and his son Wes lost to Flint, but that's totally irrelevant. So he picks Keith to go with her to Exile Island. Jeremy I would have done the same thing. I would have picked somebody, if I had a loved one that I sent to Exile Island, I would pick somebody that is experienced in helping take care of the matters at hand. Okay. Back at the Kopoya tribe, Dale finds something, a medallion of sorts. We don't know if it's an idol. We don't know what it is. We don't know what purpose it serves. Maybe down the road it'll be explained and not forgotten about. Now, Dale, being the smart man that he is, he's kind of on the outskirts. Back at Kapoya, there I go, probably butchering it, but back at the Orange Tribe, there's an age, gender diversion, and Dale's kind of on the outs because he's an older guy. But he does something very smart. He has glasses, right? And he, to start the fire, first of all, he takes his glass out, and he tries to do the magnifying trick. Well, it doesn't work, so he snaps his glasses in half, and he stacks the lenses on top of each other, and he starts the fire that way. Very good move by Dale. The brilliant thinking. He actually does get the fire started that way. So we go back to Exile Island. There's 2 urns for each player to pick. Val picks the right one. Apparently it's a clue to an immunity idol. I believe that's what it was. Back at the Blue Tribe, well, I'm not going to pronounce the tribe, Humanatu tribe, whatever, but I'm going to just call it the Blue Tribe. Drew, the younger guy, tries to build the shelter, and the women are kind of bashing him all. He's a young guy. Julie took a stab at him. Back at the other camp, there's Wes. Keith's son recognizes Rocker. He goes up to John. He's like, "Hey, John, what's your last name?" He goes, "Wetland." He's like, "Are you sure it doesn't start with an R?" So people are starting to recognize him, and being the John anti-fan I am, I'm going, yeah, because, you know, as soon as if you're a celebrity and you get recognized, a famous celebrity, good chance you won't last long, so I was kind of happy about that. Okay, back at the Orange Tribe, Josh, something happens to his eyes. His eyes, something bad, I don't know, but they're thinking it's the poison oak that they used for their shelter, so they take that out. Kind of like I saw one tweet saying, instead of showing a minute of them getting rid of the oak, why not show the intro? I kind of agree, but whatever, they had to get rid of the pool because it was starting to affect people. The immunity challenge. Okay, Rocker does help his tribe on this challenge, but still, like I said, I can't get over. But, you know, the tribe still ends up losing. They go back to camps. They're scrambling. It's eventually between, I believe, Nadia and Dale. However, Baylor and Josh pull aside. They form an alliance. So it's, the votes are basically between Nadia, one of the 20s from The Amazing Race, or Dale, the older guy, which I kind of did not get because he kind of did start the fire for him. So I don't know why they said something about challenges. But if it was me, I would have said, well, he did start the fire for us. So kind of like I was like, why? Of course, Rocker won, which I was kind of like, why? Wasn't. But anyway, eventually Nadia, one of the twins from The Amazing Race, gets voted out. You know, it kind of sucked. I was kind of, even though, you know, a lot of people hate the twins, but, you know, it's a different game. And like I said from the game, my cash assessment, it's a whole different game from The Amazing Race. Unfortunately, she got voted out. It's a shame we didn't get to see how she would have played Survivor, you know, and she said something really nice at Tribal, but it didn't, something really nice and positive, and it didn't pan out for her. She still got voted out. Okay, episode 2, they recap what happened at the last episode, you know, the start, the Tribal, everything. Okay, Josh explains why, Josh, at the last Tribal, he wrote Baylor's name down. He confessed, he explained why, he just wanted to throw off any suspicion of the alliance, which I kind of see, but at this point, if I was Baylor, I'd be wondering, I would be thinking in the back of my head. I like Josh. Josh seems like a really nice guy. Him and Reed both, they communicated, they tweeted me. They're both really nice guys. As a matter of fact, they're the only 2 from this season that's tweeted me so far, but that's okay. But anyways, like I said, if I was Baylor, I'd be thinking in the back of my mind, he still wrote my name down. So, yeah, so if I was Baylor, I'd be kind of watching out. A lot of people, Jeremy, not impressed with the young guys at camp at all, John and Drew. They called them cartoon characters, which, okay. Alright, Humanatu, John, not Rocker, but at the Blue Tribe, John loses the Flint, and I'm like, oh crap. You know, and Keith said, John asked, do we need Flint to start the fire? And Keith said, like, it helps. So that's not good. But he does, and a funny moment, I don't know if anybody recognizes this or not, but he did refer to Tia from last season. I thought was funny about the whole rice dumping incident. So I thought that was kind of funny. It actually wasn't kind of funny, it was hilarious. Reward challenge, it's Ludwin versus Ludwin, and what do you know? It's Jerkface versus his girlfriend, Brocker versus Julie. Julie wins. Clap number 1. Rocker got really beat up in this episode. I love this episode for it. So Julie beats Rocker. Rocker said something kind of like, I got beat by a girl. Just kind of like, keep being an ass. So, yeah. So, anyways, I thought that was awesome. Before, the reward was fishing gear, but that's not what happened here. Humanatru Blue Tribe, I'm going to start calling it Blue Tribe because I'm probably butchering the name. They barter for the flint that they lost, but they barter the beans instead of the fishing gear. And Jeff was kind of pissed off. He's like, I see what you did. You waited through the challenge over, see what you won, and then now you're bartering the beans. Eventually what happens, Jeff wins out, they barter out their fishing gear for the flint, so now they don't have fishing gear that they just won, they got their flint back, so let's hope they don't lose it. But yeah, that bartering was very interesting, and as a matter of fact, I don't think that's happened before. If it has, somebody let me know, but as far as I know, that has never happened before. So they lost their fishing gear, they just got the flint, and I think that's going to hurt them. I think they really need that fishing gear to fish and catch food. So, I mean, with the fire, yeah, it's great, but what are they going to do with the fire now that they don't have food to cook with, unless they make a handmade spear or something? But yeah, I think that was a bad deal. Okay, back at the Orange Tribe, again, Rocker gets recognized. While he's on Exile Island, everybody's talking about his past and how he made racial remarks towards New York. And, you know, and I have friends from New York, and it just, when I heard about that back when, I was like, wow, what? And now that he's being cast, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. But anyways, yeah, so they recognize him, so I think his fate is not going to last long, I hope. So back at Exile, Jeremy and Rocker make a deal. Hey, you look after your girl, I look after my girl. So they make that little pact there. And speaking of which, Jeremy also knows who Rocker is. So everybody knows who Rocker is at this point. Immunity. One of my favorite challenges ever is the sumo challenge. Few highlights from this one. Rocker gets beat by younger John, the guy that lost the flint there. So maybe that was a little bit of redemption for him. But I actually clapped during that one. Little incident with Baylor and her mom. Baylor split her lip. Now there's some people that are saying, oh, she faked it, but you can see the blood coming down, and yeah, and then Baylor beat her mom after that. So that was intense. What was the other one? Reed versus Josh. Now Reed pulled off like a nice little spin move. Now if you know, Reed played Spider-Man in a Broadway, which I didn't know Spider-Man had a Broadway play, but maybe that might have helped him. He pulled off some spider moves. Brother versus brother, Drew versus Alex. Drew won that one. So we had some really good matchups. And again, Orange Tribe lost. Corpo lost. Oh my God. I rolled my eyes when Rocker found the idol. Not only that, but it seemed like it was real easy to find. He didn't have to dig real hard. It looked like it was not even hardly buried at all. But he has the idol. Great. That's so not awesome. And going on forward, Val says she has 2 idols, and Rocker says play one of them, which we all know she doesn't have the idol. So John's kind of lying to her. Val's lying to John. So come to tribal council. Val did not play any idols because she doesn't have any, and in a revote she was voted out. So that's the first 2 episodes. So far, the season's coming along okay. Like, I agree with some people, it's coming off slow. But like I said, a lot of people had really high expectations after the last Blood versus Water. So we'll see how it pans out. So far, it's, I like Exile Island. I don't see the point in it right now, but maybe later it will pick up. So, alright, that's that, and I'll see you Wednesday. Hopefully I'll get one in soon. So, that's it. See you.